Now, buying a new house is up there with some of life's most happy but also stressful events. Opting for a new build should reduce the worry of something being structurally wrong with that property.
You'd think so.
You would think so, but not the case, according to our property expert, Kate Faulkner, who joins us now to tell us more. Why not, Kate?
Well, one of the problems is when you actually build a new home, unlike a car or a toaster, you can't kind of road test it because you've got a new build. If you think about this year, we've had the Beast of the East coming in, affecting all of those building materials and work on site, and then we've been followed up with this huge sort of summer heat. And what happens, therefore, is sometimes when we build a house, things will go wrong because it's really a bit of a living, breathing thing. So it has to settle, it's built on land. And as a result, sometimes things go wrong. What we've got to get a little bit better at is understanding how to get those fixed and understanding what our rights are.
Yeah. I mean, actually, there are a lot of incentives for buying new homes, aren't there? When you see them advertised, you know, they're going to pay your stamp duty, they'll do a part exchange with your current property.
Absolutely.
So obviously, you know, they make you want to buy a new build.
Yeah, certainly if you're somebody that doesn't want the hassle of putting your own home up for sale and then the hassle of maybe the person you're buying from is going to pull out or change the price or do things like that, when you are buying a new build and if they'll do part exchange for you, they'll purchase your property, you won't have to worry about that, they'll pay the fees typically involved, and then...
Are they as good as they sound?
It depends. You need to always check a part exchange deal. It was actually one of the jobs I did, and we were very careful, and we had Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors check our figures and everything, so it was all done above board.
I think part exchange is a great way of just keeping the market going and you know, everything just being well-oiled and moving.
Absolutely, because often, don't forget, we move, having a baby, getting divorced, we're getting married, you know...
Sometimes you don't choose.
No, absolutely.
Now, this whole business about the snagging list, I think a lot of people panic very quickly. As you say, a house is a living, breathing thing. How long do you have to get your snags in order? I mean, so snags can keep appearing for, what, 6 months, a year, 2 years? What's the situation?
Yeah, so you're absolutely right. So when you buy a house, you have a 10-year warranty. So that might be through somebody like the NHBC, LABC or Premier. They're typically the ones. And what that does is that between the developer and the builder, in the first 2 years, the developer is responsible for fixing anything, be it structural or be it snagging, as we've mentioned. So maybe the pointing isn't quite correct or the guttering wasn't as tidy as it should have been, etc. So those things should be fixed pretty fast. And then after 2 years, you would typically go to your warranty provider, and there are a very strict set of things that you can claim for. They typically are
more structural, yeah.
Absolutely,
so it's not like
right.
the grouting around the bath isn't...
That kind of thing. Yeah. So what developers have got much better at, they are now, typically their bonuses, you know, we've been talking about that, are paid for on quality, which is a good thing.
Well, look, let's get a case... in motion, as it were, and this is in Castleford in West Yorkshire. We're going to go now to Mike Firth, who's there at his new build home. And how pleased are you or not with it, Mike?
Not very. I like the home. It's just the problems that have come with it, really.
Tell us about the problems then. What went wrong?
Well, the brickwork's appalling. So, and obviously, if I'd have seen it prior to buying the house, I wouldn't have done so. I've had a leaking shower since the day I moved in. They come and do jobs, and then they half do them, and then don't come back to finish them. It's just been a 16-month battle, really.
16 months. And so, when you get in touch with the builders, what response do you get?
Not a lot, really. Not a lot. Or they just say, well, we're going to get someone to come and see you. We'll sort it, and then nothing ever happens.
You got so fed up with this, Mike, didn't you?
So
you hung a sign up on your house.
Yeah, that's it. I hung the banner from my window, just to try and get the attention of the builder to come and recognise the problems and sort them out. But even that took them 10 days to come and see me.
Well, Persimmon have said all our homes are sold with a 2-year warranty plus a 10-year insurance-backed warranty, providing reassurance to customers that any substantive defects will be addressed. Now, they obviously don't think yours are substantive then. Customer care is primary importance, and our after-sales teams make every effort to resolve these concerns amicably. We continue to deal directly with this customer to address his issues and establish appointments for work to be carried out that coincide with his availability. So they'll say you're not available, you'll say they're not interested.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's exactly how it's been for the last 16 months.
Well, you know, I mean, you could go round. I mean, if I was a supervisor there, I'd look at your brickwork and I'd say, right, well, that's lazy. You can see what they were doing there, and they're cutting those bricks and putting them in. They can chip those out and they can replace those quite easily. Kate, what's caught your attention with what you've seen there?
I think what's really upsetting is that this has gone on for 16 months. It shouldn't have gone on for that period of time. This should have been dealt with. And this can't be nice for the developer, and it's certainly not nice for Mike. He's paid all that money, and he should be enjoying living in his home, and it's clearly stressful for him.
Mike, we've got 20 seconds left, but is the main problem you having to... 10 seconds.
All I get from the developer is the famous quote is within tolerance, you know, and I don't agree.
OK, all right, my friend, we've got to leave you, Mike.
We might get Kate to speak to you, actually, because we're running out of time here. Thank you very much for talking to us. Kate, thank you very much. Buyer beware, as they say, I suppose.
Absolutely.
Before we had to opt out to your region for your weather, we were in Castleford in West Yorkshire. Mike Firth, he had bought a persimmon home there. He wasn't happy. There's a lot of snags, and he was trying to get them opted out.
In 16 months,
we've got property expert Kate Faulkner here, who observed and listened to what Mike was saying. What would you say in general to anyone like Mike? OK,
so the first thing to do is, as soon as you've got some snags, and you are encouraged by the developer to list your snags, and normally they should fix those within around 28 days. If they haven't, you're unhappy, you can follow their complaints procedure, but what I'd also do is double-check with your legal company what were your rights, what were the terms and conditions, and even perhaps they might send a letter on your behalf to say you're unhappy and that the conditions of the purchase haven't been met. If that doesn't work and you're still having a problem with the developer, with your warranty cover, you can contact, and I think in this case it's NHBC, and they will handle this for you.
Oh, right.
So they will...
Free of charge?
Yes, so it's part of your warranty. So you can go to NHBC or say there's other warranties available, and what they will do then is they can arbitrate on your behalf between the two of you if you're not happy with the way that the developer's done it within the first 2 years.
Does that offer you any sort of comfort, Mike?
Yeah, well, I actually had a recent survey done last week, which I've sent a copy to the NHBC for them to look over and, you know, give me a bit of support to put it right. You know, I've contacted my mortgage broker to see if they could offer me any assistance, because effectively, you know, they've put the money at stake for the house.
Yeah, they have.
But you know, I can't go down that avenue. That's
Mike,
not something they offer.
This is a lovely house behind you there, and you know, it's a big investment for you. I'm sure at times you feel if you could wave a magic wand and start all over again, you mightn't choose the house you've chosen. But surely this is easily correctable, all of this, and shouldn't spoil your enjoyment.
Well, I'd like to think so, but it's just obviously I don't know. The developer's not really, you know, they're not really taking ownership and sort of dealing with anything to put it right for me. And obviously having that survey done last week, it's raised some other issues which obviously I wasn't aware of. So again, we're a bit in limbo really. I don't know where that's going to leave us.
Well, where it's going to leave you is Kate has agreed on your behalf to speak to Persimmon, and hopefully we'll get the two of you together and get these little problems sorted out. Thank you very much indeed, Mike Firth there. And thank you, Persimmon, for your statement and for talking to us today.
And Kate, I hope you have some success with that, because it seems a shame. We should be excited about your new home, shouldn't we?
And this isn't good for the industry, so we need to get it sorted.
OK. Thank you very much.
I should have formed a building company. Eamon Homes.
Oh, yeah.
Ideal Homes.
Ideal Homes.
That's what I should have done. Life. Been at an estate agency or something.
Never too late.
And called all our kids Wimpy and Persimmon and something like that, you know.
Anyway. I love that.